Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the TechGuy podcast. And from the title and thumbnail, you have gotten the idea. We are going to talk about recap of whole 2025 and some predictions regarding 2026 in tech industry. And so that's it. It's that simple. It was supposed to, like I said, go a couple of days ago, but I was like, we will not rush it. And technically it is coming before 2025. I was like, I wanted to make two separate videos about 2025 recap and 2026 whole prediction, but I was like, why waste whole time between that? But I cut a lot of it, that in terms of prediction wise. So that's why it is a one video. That's why I was kind of confused, should I do both videos or do one video? We are doing one video of 2026. And let's get into it. This is episode number 44 of TechGuy podcast, and is also the last episode of 2025. And let's just get into it. So I think we will do, first of all, the recap of 2025 before going to 2026 predictions, because predictions are not that into the depths, but recap is quite good, because I wanted to make also a video about kind of like a compilation videos, if you have seen compilation YouTube videos before. But the thing is, I don't have all the footage of 2025, and I need to download it from YouTube, and it was a hell lot of work. So I was like I said, let's just do the recap of 2025, which was interesting. Like, looking back, I was like, I definitely forgot one or two things that, okay, this happened in 2025. I was like, we have to talk about this. So we will go as like what a chronological good order from month of January to till the month of December, what actually happened. And actually, all the things I talked about in this recap, we have covered everything. So if you want anything kind of a topic in depth, just go to that episode specific, and you will just find it. Like, you just have to search says the Tech Guy podcast, and this you will find whatever the topics you are interested in the recap you saw right now. So let's get it from the month of January. So in month of January, as I have wrote down here, is the TikTok ban, which was kind of a banger start for 2025. I was like, everyone was talking about it, everyone knew it was going to happen. At least people in the US were talking about it, because it was going to ban in US specifically. Then the wild card entry, I will say, for me, I like, because I was not in too much into politics till last year too. So Trump got elected, and 2025 was a roller coaster because of him, what he did. We will talk about that. The tariff situation, we also covered that and how it affected the industry. And in the month of January, if you don't know, we have Samsung event every year, like ultra event. So basically, a Galaxy event. Basically, as Samsung unveils their new product lines, specifically the XS series. And and that event, they also announced their AI and how AI will be integrated in Samsung, which we still haven't seen to, like, it was just kind of a vision from their side. And the two key products that they launched at that event, which we actually got this year, at the end of this year, both of the products are out. One is Samsung Galaxy Edge, the thinnest Samsung Galaxy up to the date, S25 Edge it's called. And then there is Samsung headset, which actually is a project Mohan that they were working on throughout couple of years with Google. So yeah, it is kind of an Android version of Vision Pro, and they launched it last month. Like, we talked about it, like I was talking throughout the year how Samsung will be announcing after Apple's event in the month of November, and they did it. So let's get into it one by one for now. So TikTok ban situation is still unclear. What I mean by unclear is, like, there has been talks, uh, like the deal is already happened, like on the behind the scenes. I just don't have too much kind of in detail. I did not get into it too much. So in next couple of episode, if I get in a concrete kind of an like numbers, who is going to own who, Like this is kind of an Oracle deal that they have taken. Basically, Oracle was going to be in the deal no matter what, because they were already handling the data of all the US users. Now, according to this new deal that is happening, most of the time the majority of the holders will be from US. So ByteDance of Chinese company will still be there, and they want to be there, I believe that. And so let's see whoever names come up front, because lots of groups are involved, investment groups, lots of people. Like at a point Mr. Beast also was involved into TikTok. uh, in that specific group, Microsoft also was involved. A lot of people wanted to get into it. So it's still unclear. We will talk about it much more, but because of that, a lot of things happened. Like Instagram started pushing their lot of features for US. Like they pushed their edits app specifically in those months so faster. And because they knew if actually TikTok got banned, they wanted to capitalize on that whole thing, which got banned but couple of days, or like not even more than one day actually. Like after one day, like Trump signed like they will have more time, and then it got reinstated on all the phones. And I think we got an edits app, and it's still there, but it's like after the ban was after it was unbanned, they slowed their progress. But yeah, a lot of companies wanted to capitalize over it. Like even YouTube was ready for it with their shorts giving all the features. And but yeah, Instagram was way too desperate into it, but they did not get the chance because TikTok is still there. Apart from it, I will say in the month of Jan and Feb, I will say the Samsung event. In the Samsung event, definitely we got a lot of things, especially regarding AI, the future of AI. What I think is what every other company was trying to get this year with Google Pixel, what Google is trying to get, what every other company is trying to get. Like not like integrating AI into what already existed, like into emails, what how it can boost your productivity in like 15 to 20% or like 30% due to integration of all AI through all apps into one and helping you out. And I actually liked it, but I don't know, we still have gotten full of it. I think next month is going to be a surprise, especially not a surprise, but actually a good eye opening for what and where it is heading actually, in terms of features, in terms of how it is actually going to be used, you know. So that is there. Then there are other things that Samsung unveiled this year at the start of this year, like in the month of January. That was Samsung Edge, which was kind of an hit and miss. Basically, it is just like an iPhone Air. Like the question is who needs it. Then and the thing is it's just for the beauty. Like if you like it, then go for it. And Samsung really made a well edge phone. But again, the question was a lot of reviewers made. I did not get to actually handhold both of the phones, like iPhone Air and Samsung Edge, so I need to look into it. But let's see how it happens, it or not. But other things like major thing other than that was Project Mohan, that is Samsung headset that they unveiled. Like like the it was so back like at that month of January. It was so, when they launched it, like it was just one or couple of pieces hanging around, and you can't even touch it because like it was not that ready. But it is ready now, and a lot of people can use it. It is way too much similar. Like they knew they don't have a competition right now. They just have to do what better than Apple, that is less pricing and give same kind of experience than Vision, which it does, I think, with the visuals I have seen up until now and we have talked about in the last month. So that was it. Like Samsung, like they later on did a lot of things we are going to talk about, like trifold. They also unveiled their what thinnest ultra phone, like foldable thinnest up until now, that is foldable 7th gen, which is quite insane phone, I will definitely say. Then after Samsung, I think Australia ban. So Australia banning social media was kind of a big deal. Since last year we are talking about it. I covered it on my newsletter, and I also covered it all throughout the year whenever there were new updates. Now it is actually banned. 10th of December 2025, they actually banned all social media legally at least, and it is banned. But it is still too early to talk about what actually is happening, the results of it, because a lot of kids are finding definitely, or not surprising, other ways to look, like basically other ways to get into the social media apps, and they're just trying to find what are the other ways kids are going into it, and they're just preventing it, like that's it. It's way too much early to predict what we can talk about, but it has actually happened, and a lot of eyes are on that movement, what is actually happening there. It is actually helping or not, is it positive response or not. Everybody from governments to committees and even companies, a lot of people are just watching it, because it is a big step, because it can get into a chain of reaction where in next couple of years we can see a lot of big countries also banning social media across the world, you know, like what Australia started this year. So yeah, so I think, yeah, so that was kind of an like early month of January that we covered, and also Feb. And then after that, I will say we covered Apple AI crisis in the month of Feb and March. Apple AI crisis, Google I/O event happened in the month of May, basically, and then there is OpenAI Ghibli trend happened, which was a big movement, not more movement, but a big thing, because that triggered a lot of things, and still are, and that and those things are still are kind of a big thing in the industry, which is still to this day unresolved. And the one of the biggest wild card that I got of myself, actually, I don't know, a lot of people predicted it, like they said Trump was going to do that, is tariffs that he did to all the other countries throughout the year. Kind of like a big deal that changed the industry, which forced the industry to do a lot of changes and investments throughout the year. So let's talk about that first, so like I said, I did not I the political situations, not even in the US, but here I don't get involved too much into it. I don't know too much details into it, what gets behind into it too much. We on the surface level, the only reason we talked about politics on this channel is because of the involvement of the industries with the government, which is bound to happen because of contracts, a lot of things there. So Trump did kind of like a big thing by making tariffs, increasing tariff basically to all other the not just companies but countries, and that was a big deal, when it got, because I when I just saw when that tariffs was getting like, he was doing a kind of a press conference, and he has a board, if you know it, he had well, like a kind of a cardboard kind of a thing, and he was unveiling the kind of what kind of percentage of tariffs where all countries were going to get, and it was kind of like a big movement at that day. Look, like a whole month, like all companies were into chaos, small businesses were definitely going to get affected because of it, and that's why a lot of things got messy for a lot of companies. So it forced a lot of investment. Like I said, you can see when the Trump government came, AI investments from OpenAI was a new company, and they wanted to get into the front of eye of the government. And what government want, actually a big investments from this kind of a company at the time of their new administration. So it was like a Stargate investment by OpenAI, Oracle, like it was 500 billion. It is not was a $500 billion investment, insane. Then we had, I will say, Apple investment, like more than again $500 billion investment in own US soil, which was again because due to the new administration coming in, Apple don't wanted to tariff because of whatever, like they don't want to be enemies of the new government because they don't want the tariff and increase their iPhone prices. Microsoft also got in, Nvidia also got in. A lot of companies just were just going into terms of investment and like praising the government, because you know why. So a lot of things happen because of that. Industries change, and I know we talked about at that time, if you are listening from since then, that I wanted to make a video or a special podcast because of the impact of it. and I did not make it. We will definitely talk about it next couple of episodes. I will definitely say that. But think of it as tariff. Think of tariff as kind of an as like a warning, kind of a threat to the companies, to the countries all around the world. It was just kind of was done for making a negotiation good deals all around the country, which sometimes something like kind of an miss and hit and miss situation for the Trump administration, but we will talk about it later in depth. But apart from it, Apple AI crisis, a big one. Apple AI crisis, like we all saw that coming since last year. It was bound to happen when Apple launched Apple Intelligence, but as the as the time went by and as like we saw what kind of updates were coming in and what kind of news we are getting in, like just delays for direct like 6 months ahead before even getting in. Like they whole marketed the Apple Intelligence throughout the Apple, I think I will say 16, and they did not even got into it. Like when you get that phone out of the box, the Apple Intelligence what was not there on iPhone 16 models, even though it was advertised. Like a lot of people were skeptical since last year iPhone 16 launch event, but it did not stop there. Like we get lot of news throughout the year since the beginning only. It got delayed to the month of March and May, that we thought it was going to get into till next couple of months, but it did not. People were then expecting, even I was expecting, to get Apple Intelligence AI crisis getting solved in the WWDC. And then we got WWDC 2025, not a single word for Apple Intelligence because they unveiled liquid glass. So that was there. So I was like again optimistic for at the launch of iPhone event. Again, not a single talk about AI or Apple Intelligence. So they hold back the whole marketing because they pulled all the ads. You can just see how Apple just took couple of steps back again from every other company, and because they did not cannot fulfill the promise of Apple Intelligence, half baked. you know and yeah, that's what they did, and still to this day it's still unresolved. We still to this day don't know we are going to get full Apple Intelligence and at the next WWDC. I'm not optimistic this time actually, while saying this. So yeah, Apple AI crisis started since last year and is still unresolved in 2025. Let's see what we have in 2026 about Apple in and their AI situation, what unfolds, because we'll talk last episode only what is happening internal chaos regarding design team, and a chip hardware person also is going towards Meta. So a lot of things are happening there too. Then apart from that, I will say couple of other things like Ghibli trend. That was a big deal. Lot of people hop on into it. I remember every PFP like profile, every picture was on the Twitter timeline of mine was Ghibli because of OpenAI, and they did a really insane marketing in terms of it was first of all free to do it, and they know it why they did it, because they wanted people to use it. They wanted people to know what AI actually is, and a lot of this marketing whole of AI companies is I think they're well done, because every person knows now. I have made at least the word AI. So I feel like yeah, they have done their job. So, but apart from this AI like whole companies, but Ghibli trend made a lot of concerns regarding artists, uh, about art in terms of, I will say, monetizing it. Because if let's say OpenAI can just make and rip off of, like I say, let's say artistic style, and people can make out of it, what is the monetization for a lot of other art? And when OpenAI did that, I was confused, and I was a lot of questions were regarding a lot of things, like what if someone tries to make an art for like artwork for, let's say, characters like Marvel, DC, and a lot of other things. And we got the question for that in the last episode, in the last week, that we talked about OpenAI and Disney deal, which is a kind of a big deal. Like, the reason why I talk it is a big deal is because of how companies are now getting involved to make monetization through OpenAI. And the solution for it is making a good deal, and that is what Disney made. About 200 characters getting into OpenAI Sora app. And I feel like if creators want to get monetized, I will say legalize your work, you know, and definitely make steps towards, if let's say, if they rip off your work out of it and they use it, like through, like if it is kind of a thing, I will definitely say that have some kind of an leverage to legal terms, rather than rather than just saying I don't want AI to be used. Because I don't think they care. Like, I was like shocked that there was no response from Ghibli, like the whole studio, since when the OpenAI was happening. Was there a deal? Because I was like just shocked. But uh, Japan did, I think uh, Ghibli studio head Miyazaki made couple of statement. I don't remember too much of it, but let's see what happens, because this deal, like I said in the last week, what happened actually about OpenAI and Disney is going to a big deal. Because of this deal, lot of deal it will create a chain of reaction basically. If this deal work perfectly fine, then there is a lot of companies lining up to do it. There is, of course, DC characters. Then there is Netflix, definitely will be in lineup. Then there is a lot of uh, other, like, DC does not mean DC Comics is different, but Warner Brothers has a lot of other IPs too. So let's see how it goes. I will say definitely. So yeah, a kind of, and like I said, that triggered a lot of things throughout the year. A conversation that we are still doing still to this day. So that happened in the month of Feb and March. Then also, yeah, in the month of May, we also got Google I/O event. In that Google I/O event, like usual, it was not a big deal. Like, a lot of things were unveiled. Google unveiled their Gemini integration in Chrome, AI mode in browser, which is like a slapstick, like kind of an like AI chatbot, just inbuilt in Chrome. That is AI mode. That is not something new. Like we talked about how they will be just integrating the features of AI into the existing browser, which they are doing. But apart from that, the major feature two major feature I liked what Google showed this year was Google Lens. I think, yes, Google Lens is back. When they showed it to a lot of people, you know, and which was kind of an, I will say, not a surprising big thing, because last year Meta was showing their Orion glasses. This year they launched it like Meta Ray-Ban display glasses. But so Google knew that it was like it was in the development of Google. It's just Google don't rush the things, just like what Meta. No, not in the sense of rush, I will say, but they are not a company. They are ready for everything, like, you know. So like you can, if you can definitely say in the AI race too, when OpenAI launched this whole chatbot, ChatGPT, whole thing 1 2 3 was happening. OpenAI, Google already has the answer for it. It was their own AI. So quickly they announced it, and they even launched it, called Bard. Later that Bard got renamed as Gemini. But a lot of you can say Google is ready to do it. So yeah, display is kind of an, I will say, Google glasses is literally one of the like highlight of that whole event for me. Then I will say, I think apart from that, future of web was a lot of talked question at that time period of time, and we are still in the transition period where new AI browsers are emerging. Google Labs, like Google Labs announced Disco browser with Gen tabs, you know, and then we have Perplexity Comet browser. Then we have Atlas browser by OpenAI, which is kind of an, like I said, boring browser for me. Then there is Dia browser from the boring company. Uh, no, not the boring company, the browsing company. Sorry, I forgot the company's name. But yeah, a lot of transitioning in happening in the web to a lot of uncertain questions, because how is web going to survive? How are these agents that companies, AI agents, are going to be used and search for you? How the incentivize, like how the monetization of web page will be there in future? A lot of things were being talked at that time, and we are still unknown. We don't know how it is going to happen. uh, in the sense, we talked about couple of things like how AI agents may like ask permissions to enter certain sites, let's say, and when they enter they pay a certain fee to the web pages. So that was kind of an, I will say, a early stage talk, even in the decoder episode by Nilay Patel, I will say. So it was with Sundar Pichai. It was a great episode, and we talked about in depth at the month of May when Google I/O event happened. So a lot of things are happening. Like 2025, even I will say 2026 is going to be a transition period from uh, existing tools to AI integration tools and AI integration new features. So yeah, let's see what happens in that. But that was it, I will say. Then in the month of, I will say, June, in the month of June and July, we got couple of things, new things from OpenAI, and we got WWDC. So in the month of June, we got couple of like big things. As usual, we had WWDC, and we had OpenAI making announcement of their big product that we are going to see in 2026. And OpenAI also announced GPT-5, a kind of a really good model than previous one, which is kind of an, I will say, we did not talked about when it came, the GPT-5 one. But when, and also like we did not even review, I did not even review a lot of models this year, because I'm still figuring out how they are. But I am working on a video about the usefulness of AI, uh, the the problem with how it is in, the problem with integrating it with the workflow that I already have, and also the companies that are actually facing the problems about how we should do it, you know. So a lot of things to talk about there too. But apart from that, the first product got up a lot of our attention, because a lot of things was there in that. But because it is an open AI product, also a physical product, not just take any kind of software or new feature or new software in a whole, it was kind of a physical device that sits uh, like fits in your pocket. So a lot of people were interesting, and also interesting because the majority of the people are interested because Johnny Ive is involved in it. So it was there. Like, we still don't know much more about it as far as I know. So yeah, let's see. I don't have, like, we will talk about much more about that product in the predictions one, definitely, after this, you know. So that was it there. uh, WWDC 2025. So WWDC was this year kind of a really good move by Apple, you know. That also covers in my title of that podcast that I did at that time, you know. Not over promising something, and not like coming to the basics. Apple did that with their WWDC this year 2025, because last year Apple did a lot of heavy marketing towards Apple Intelligence, and they were so sure about it, and whole market and the whole attention was given to it by even by the Apple too. But this year they fall back and took couple of steps back. Couple of big steps they have taken this year, like liquid glass, which was kind of a feeling like a desperate move by Apple because they don't have anything big to show. But apart from like using it for a couple of months now, and how double down they have done with the liquid glass, I definitely feel like they have a much more, like they have thought towards it. And yeah, like it was in their pipeline, it was just when they are going to release it. And that was a big kind of a deal for them this year in WWDC. And they did not talk too much about AI, but let's see. RSS sorry RCS feed got for messages got simpler, got announced by Apple officially this year also. So yeah, and that they did not like, just like in Apple we did not mention too much about it. It's like kind of a small fraction of it. Then we have a big event by Meta. After that, I will say, in the month of September, before iPhone event only, we had Meta Ray-Ban glasses, which was a big deal. Then we had iPhone launch, and we then got Sora 2 announcement, which was again of it's a big deal. So coming from WWDC, I was expecting a lot of things from Apple, but my expectation got low because of that after WWDC, and I was like firm that we are not getting any AI. But I was expecting a new Vision Pro, Light Vision Pro, which again we did not got it. We got new iPhone Air, uh, which is again like I have given my own opinions regarding that product before too, and we talk about a little bit at the start of this podcast. But yeah, Apple did a lot of big again in terms of design change. They made a new what uh, the new design for Apple phones just changed, especially the Pro phones after 5 years. I will say, since Apple iPhone 11 to iPhone 16, like 6 years, we had same design, kind of an tricolor, like kind of a square design shape on the back of it. Then now we have what they are calling it is kind of a plateau, which is a good name than uh bump, like what we used to call it bump. I don't know what we used to call it now, because I am so used to call it now plateau. So a new whole design, a bold color, and a new device, and a lot of hardware upgrades, like a lot of big camera changes that they have done this year, like especially the selfie camera. Like a lot of people are talking about how good it is. So yeah, I will say, like Apple did a really well job in terms of that. Like I said, going back to the basics rather than what it is actually not ready. And that is why I feel like it reflects into my title at those episodes that I talked about. And now, like, see, let's like predictions we will talk about in the prediction sections. But I feel like throughout the whole year for Apple, I feel they had a good year this year, especially with the new design. We got definitely something different than what we were not I was not expecting that, especially a bold move both of the time, a whole design change and whole kind of in color, and also the software change. So a lot of big move by them. Let's see what happens next year. We will talk about that in the prediction sections. So apart from that, a big thing for me was Apple no sorry Meta Ray-Ban display glasses, which was kind of an like I was thinking it will be coming again, not in next 2 years again. The reason why the market is not there, and which is still not. The thing is, Meta is just testing it, and they had the opportunity and they took it they because they wanted to go in first in front of developers, in the front of world. Like yeah, we are announcing this, and that's why Apple is also pushing their glasses, AI glasses production too. Like production in the sense they are working on it in the background. That are kind of rumors there too. And also a lot of things Ray-Ban display glasses does are insanely well. So that whole event we talked about, they announced couple of new glasses definitely. A couple of new gen glasses, Vanguard glasses were absolutely really really well done. I actually wanted to get one of those. Then we have what, uh, a Ray-Ban sports one. Like couple of announcements were definitely done, new features, like kind of a futuristic take, like what AI sees what you sees and understands the environment, like keeps in the memories what you see, and just like you can ask it later on. AI mode they call it, I don't know what the actual name is, but AI mode, hopefully they call it that, which was kind of a futuristic, which is still and beta. We definitely know they are not going to release it because it definitely will not work. That quite right, that what they have shown in the event. But apart from that, I will say the display was the major event for me from the whole thing. The way they announced it, a lot of things were happening, and I was like, the way the display, because last year we saw the Orion glasses, how they were, how underdeveloped it was, and I was like, this much amount of jump since the last year was insane, and make it commercial like that too, a kind of a big deal. Obviously they are kind of an, I will say, really really high price are not justifiable, at least what they are right now, but there is no other competition in that space, just like what Apple did, like just like what they had with the Meta Quest. So obviously they wanted to go just first of it and nailed it, because what they are trying to do is pivot from what like not traditional, what smartphone companies are doing, because their main selling point is smartphones, but they are trying to sell glasses and watches, because they are definitely, Meta is also working on the watches that I talked about, how one of their executive talks about it in the interview, that they launch, that they want to work on the glasses too, sorry, the watches too. So they are working on kind of an, I will say, wearables kind of thing, glasses, watches, even I will say this definitely like kind of an ornaments too, like the bracelets one on the hands, which will definitely, like even rings, might get announced by Meta in next couple of years. I am looking forward to it. So yeah, Meta display glasses are kind of an one, really important. I want to try it. It's still not here, I believe, in India. Let's see. Apart from that, there is Sora 2, a huge step. The reason why it was huge step, because Sora was getting public announced, but also we are we were also getting the app of Sora, and we it is still not, I will say, publicly fully announced all over the world. It is still in US and in certain Asian countries, I will say, and it has been kind of an, I will say, a really difficult move, or like for a lot of, not difficult, but I will say a really, so the Sora app is kind of an, I will say, a major thing by OpenAI. The reason why it is because they were announcing it much more publicly, and a kind of a TikTok feed thing. And the reason why it is kind of an, I will say, insane move by them, because they don't have to lose anything. They are a new company. They are like just creating $1 billion contracts, and it is getting much more difficult for them to generate, like what they're doing ultimately. And we have talked about this before, is going on to every other industry, entertainment industry, they are making deals with them, technology industry where they are making deals with them, companies, hundreds of companies, they want to work with them, they are making deals with them. The reason why in the whole soul is because people will, like these companies will just buy from them, they will have customers in next couple of years, because we know that they don't have that kind of a revenue that is going on compared to what kind of investment that is going on. Like 15 billion and 20 billion does not equal to 500 billion or $1 trillion investment, doesn't justify that. So that's why that is what was one of the case. But another case was obviously the misuse, uh, the threat of people's identity, and that is what actually happened. A lot of things happened because of that. Imprisonment, like a lot of actors voices has been used, their images has been used, people's images, like lot of chaotic things happened there in that period of time. And couple of examples where I think Morgan Freeman, because of his voice, And we also had, I will say, Bryan Cranston, the person who plays Heisenberg in Breaking Bad. He also did not wanted to been used there, and he had to go to SAG-AFTRA, like the union. So they are also making deals, and they want to satisfy both the unions, the entertainment industry, and it is a kind, like I said, that is why it is a complex deal with Disney too. So when Sora AI is, that is why one of the reasons that they did not wanted to announce Sora to kind of an, I will say, full extent, is not just the thing is they will be burning money, but they will be kind of an too much kind of a negative PR going towards it. And as internet is getting flooded with AI videos, so many fake videos, so many misuse of it, and they are not taking accountability of it because of it, because they are being used and by Sora AI too. Like there is literally watermark because of that, and people don't even know what that watermark means. Like people don't care if they don't know about it. So lot of time people just get scammed because of it. Lot of people, like it is just getting easier and easier what were difficult things before to create videos and scamming people, and misleading people. So that's why it was kind of a big thing, and the repercussions of it are still to this day happening and will be happening since Sora 2 will be getting like the whole app will be getting announced here in India, here in other countries too. So that's why we need regulations, so that is why in 2026 we are looking forward to majorly that too, because what other company is just going to get into it. So that was there, but at last I will say couple of things definitely we talked about in podcast where AI bubble and Samsung trifold got announced last month in the month of November. Wine, or in the month of December only, I think. Wine is back. We talked about that, and the videos of wine, older wine videos are also getting back. And we also have a Gorkipedia. Gorkipedia. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but I don't care because it is silly. I will say the naming. So if you don't know what Gorkipedia is just another version of Wikipedia, but by Elon Musk, and it's under Gork name because the AI model, because of its AI model, the name Gork. That's it. If you want to go you can just go there and search whatever you want. I will say, uh, the thing was, it was just a silly name. I just had a laugh when it was announced at that time, and I was like, okay, he just wants to get everywhere and everything, and I don't know, like lot of things. Like he is also one of those person who is like, let me do that too, and he just goes and does it. People, some of the people use it if it makes good. Like the thing is, majority of what he tries to do, Elon, is one of the things that, like especially this year with a lot of I will say announcements from the Tesla taxis, the robots, Tesla bots, like a lot of things were so unrealistic in the sense of, in terms of timeline, and kind of a not new, because I did not knew that about the Roadster what he has promised, but I don't now know. And I will say, like, uh, I will just not take him that much kind of and seriously, and sometimes because like there is no kind of a, like, even let's say in next couple of months, like OpenAI announce their own Wikipedia tool, like what, Chatpedia, like kind of a, like a silly thing for me to, like, not even getting into it. Like I don't want to get into it that too much into it, so like it was just a good title at that time, and we don't even talk about it. Like there were a lot of things needed to be done there. I don't know if he has like it has been improved or not. It has, the fact checking is not done by people now. It has done by Gork. Do I trust Gork? Definitely not. I don't trust any chatbot. I don't trust even people too. That is the reason why, sole reason why Wikipedia is free, and it is by people and for people. That's why one of the its good strengths. It's kind of a community thing. Uh, that's why people used to, you go there, use it, read it. But yeah, let's see how Gorakpedia does in future. But yeah, apart from that, Samsung trifold was kind of a wild card for me. Like I thought next year we might get trifold from Samsung, but yeah, this year it was insane. Like yeah, a lot of insane year for Samsung too, like from unveiling like thinnest fold phone to like now this too. But it is commercially launching in next 2 months, in month of January. Like obviously when the event Galaxy event comes, they will announce it all over the world. And right now it's, I think it's just in South Korea, or just the models are being for there for the display, I don't know. uh, I'm excited for it to try it on. If I get to see it here in some of the Samsung stores, I will definitely see and try to check it out. But apart from that, Wine and AI bubble. Let's talk about AI bubble first. So I think if you like, we talked about in depth about is there AI bubble? I will say yes, and I have said it before too. According to the definition of AI bubble, and also according to what is actually in front of me, you know, the way the investments, the contract, the billion-dollar things are happening around AI and around this couple of 4 or 5 companies, and the way the money is getting just moved from here and there, I feel like that there are a couple of things will happen in that whole situation. What is happening right now, OpenAI is in one of the most crucial bad condition, like I will say. The reason why I'm saying that is that because they are relying on a lot of future accessibility, like future use of people of AI, and future adaptability, adaptive adaptiveness, I will say, of companies, people, and in all the industry, not just one tech industry. So that's why I feel like they are relying too much, like these contracts around OpenAI. And when in next couple of years, there if there is no such kind of result in till 2027, still there is 20-30 billion dollars return. Lot of people, like lot of companies will be falling back, will be doing different deals, and OpenAI will just collapse if it does not get right the next year product, if it does not get right the next couple of deals with Google, sorry, not Google, with Disney, with entertainment industry, because there is too much negative towards AI rather than positiveness, especially when it comes to OpenAI. So, and they have a lot to lose, or like, sorry, they have even though they do not have a lot to lose, if they lose this right now, they are done for it. So that's why I said, a kind of, and I will say, a big deal open AI bubble is there. It's just a matter of time what will happen, and it will be not surprising if the bubble burst and the industry just collapse, like especially OpenAI. Wine, we talked about wine, but wine, in the sense, the more than 100K videos are getting backed, like from the archived, one of the wine person who used to work with Jack in the back in the days when Twitter was there. He is bringing back all those videos, and they are also creating another video platform that is called Divine, Divine, and those videos will be available there. And also you can create new videos there. Like they are creating a new kind of social media platform where no AI is kind of an, I will say, future, kind of a big deal there. So yeah, it was bound to happen. Someone was going to make it, and that is here. Jack is here. It is, if you don't know, it is going to be same like decentralized network, just like what Blue Sky or Threads is right now. So yeah, that's it. Like it is that simple. Oh, also I am excited for it. I think someone should make it for photos too. You know, as a person who is into photography, I hope someone makes a different app, if because Instagram has totally abandoned it. So yeah, I think that is kind of an, I will say, kind of an upper layer of what happened, like kind of a major things what happened in the 2025 from Jan to like last month, most probably this month too. So that was it. I feel like a kind of an, I will say, a kind of a big year. I will say a lot of things happen, especially in terms of political, especially in terms of I did not expect political involvement into the industry, which I did not know, because I am like, what, like since last year I'm creating this kind of content, and when you don't know too much, it is just surprise for you all for a lot of time. And also a lot of things happen we did not cover, like Google's monopoly deal, like with the DOJ, and how Apple got out of tariffs, which is kind of an, I will say, a kind of not a not surprising. We will talk about that in the next couple of episodes. Yeah, we will take a break here, and after a break, we will be talking about predictions, my predictions regarding 2026, and my expectations from 2026 from the tech industry, and what can and will be happening. I feel like the way we are going into this industry next year. So yeah, we will take a break here, and after a break, we will be right back here. Let's talk about some predictions for 2026. 2026, we will go first with the like with the recap. We had a chronological timeline, but I think with the predictions we will just go by the company. What I have expectations of it, what I can predict, what they will be doing. uh, let's go with the first OpenAI. So couple of major things that we already know that OpenAI is doing. First, the product that they are going to launch, I don't know when. uh, there is no since release date. There is like kind of a like big hype, at least from my side. What kind of expectations are there from the product? A lot. Is this a game changer for OpenAI? A lot, because products are one of those things that can get your company and your device, like your product, up into people's hand. It is something kind of a physical, just sitting there a lot of time. So that's why I feel like that device is a big step for them. They can turn out a lot of things if it worked. So we have gotten two major devices last year, that is Rabbit, and another way is human AI pin. Both the devices are gone, but particularly Rabbit, there is no announced, like there is no further development in that. We have not any kind of update regarding from them. And with human AI pin, it is being sold to HP, and the whole team is merged with that. And yeah, it's from the both of those devices. It was really ambitious, both from both of side, because especially from human AI pin, a lot of big team people were coming from Apple to come form that company. And it looked like they don't even had the vision for their whole product line for the next generation. It's just like they were looking, it was a miss, and they just got into like it did not feel like they had a vision for what kind of company they wanted to be. And they missed really really hard, especially human AI pin, because it was much more expensive than the Rabbit AI. And also kind of like a subscription base, because there you have to buy a separate SIM for it. You have to like a lot of things, I will say, compared to what Rabbit AI was. And Rabbit was kind of a quirky, a good design, a lot of fun to just look at it, compared to human AI pin, I will definitely say. And I feel like they marketed it definitely not good. They marketed it competitor for not just your smartphones, but they did not market it well. How it can be integrated into people's lives, I feel like, because we are so surrounded by some basic, not basic, but smartphones and laptops, especially in terms of work. Because the problem is everything can be done there. Why? That's why smartphones are getting better and better, like getting more and more power to the people, into the people hands all over the time, especially portable device it is. That's why laptops are also one of the big deals. That is why we see a lot of both things. So when both of those devices came out, I made an article I have written on my newsletter, is like, how is there a future for this? And I feel like there is a future for a newer device, and it can be as much as smartphones and laptops in our like environment, I feel like. And the reason why I called it, because I think human AI and Rabbit both can be used in a lot of different ways. Like I feel like if we are moving away from the harms of smartphone addiction to another device, if you want to, we need to fundamentally change the people's behavioral, the way people spend time on with or interact with devices, which can be changed, which could have been changed through, I will say, rabbit AI and both human AI means. But through, I definitely feel say not in, like for making it for children's like teens, making, if you want, like if let's say a person who just wants to use your phone as just as a smartphone, as kind of an, I will say, a lot of, you can still use it, but it is still in your smartphone factor, it was a different form factor with small screen, just used for what calls, couple of big things like uber Uber Eats, Zomatos, and like calling, messaging. That is it. I feel like yeah, we know that smartphones are really really well made because we are in what 17th gen in, at least in the iPhone, in terms of that, and we are way ahead of it in terms of that, what smartphones are and what they're capable of. I thought, why compare it to smartphones, just make it a different product line for different people of category, just like what a fair phone, I feel like we called it a phone. It is in a form factor of phone, but it is just black and white screen, ink, it is ink display screen, so it is not really kind of an, it is just for the users who want it for aesthetics, and also who doesn't want to get in too much into phone. You just want it for phone calls, much more of it, for other specific apps for calling, uh, uh, music, and much more like messaging. That's the whole point of that smartphone, which I really like to, and that's why I feel like those devices can be marketed in that way. uh, Same for, I feel like that can be happen for OpenAI's new product, which is that the next year they're launching. I feel like when it comes to a product, the way you are marketing and way you want people to use it, the way you have to show it. And if, let's say, assuming that, I feel like, and I should feel like that the product should at least have strong models inbuilt in that, so even without the internet, you feel like you have a great model in your hands that can be helped with a lot of things even offline too. So if you are making a physical product, and you are marketing towards and comparing towards its smartphone, it is hard to crack. So I feel like, I believe what the product, whatever it is, I feel like it will have a display on it. Definitely it will be a same form factor, I feel like, same factors, like just like what I will say rabbit AI will be having, but much more in a traditional way and much more in a hardware point of view, a good device, a much more good device than what rabbit AI was, I feel like. And yeah, let's see that I don't have too much kind of an into it, but the way they will be marketing will be a lot of marketing and the pricing, because people will be using it. And I hope they make something good, because for a lot of years of time we are just stuck on like what smartphones, which again we are not at an even peak of it. Like we still are like what we got trifolds this year only, like we still haven't got an iPhone foldable that is going to be next year. We will talk about that now. So yeah, for OpenAI, I think apart from that, I am expecting new agentic features like agents, about how new feature agents are going to be helpful in terms of workflow. I'm expecting new features in Atlas browser. I hopefully they make it good. And up in when it comes to model, I don't know, this model what I am using for GPT-5 is really good. It helps me a lot in other stuff, you know not in terms of workflow too much, but I am it, like we will talk about it much more later on. But yeah, that is it for me or for OpenAI. So let's talk about, so from Google side, what predictions. So Google will launch their, I feel like, their glasses next year. We will have first gen Google glasses publicly, people can buy it. And just like what Meta did this year basically, we will have trifold from Google too. next year, just like what Samsung announced this year. We will definitely have a trifle from Google, at least a teaser from Google, I feel like. Then we will be hearing Google and Apple been partnering for Google Gemini model getting integrating in Apple, which is not surprising because Google is a big time partner for Apple for a lot of period of for long period of time. Then new, I feel like I want new features in AI, and also please make Disco browser publicly available. I hope we get new browser, or I think it will be available. I think what it will happen is a feature just like Gen tabs or Gen tabs, basically they are calling, will be available in Chrome next year. So yeah, we will be seeing a lot of features just like Gen tabs and a lot of new kind of browsing integrated in Chrome only, because I don't think they are selling Chrome just because the DOJ has given them a kind of an like a warning to just sell it. Uh, Apart from Google, Apple is a big thing because I am Apple user, iPhone 15 Pro. New Apple, new foldable definitely is happening. If not, I don't know what Apple is working on then. Uh, at least we will be getting a new foldable next year. I'm really excited to know what kind of form factor they go, because we have a couple of form factors that already had their hit and miss for a lot of people. So I will say they can go too much, I will say, in a flow that, like, they are one of those companies that can, like, they will definitely make a beautiful product, but they are kind of a company can definitely go what a passport size was for by Google last year, which Google changed because definitely a lot of people hated it, majority people, but a lot of people actually loved it too. So never know what Apple can do. But definitely we are getting a new foldable from Apple, AI integration with Google with their models like we talked before. Hopefully we get a Siri improvement, because right now I don't think I can use Siri more than for calling, timer, and opening some apps. That's it, you know. So yeah, new Vision Pro, a new lighter Vision Pro I need from Apple next year. I hopefully we get it like $1,500 or like not more than $2,000. Right now it is what, $3,500, insane. Uh, some mobile new features I definitely want from Apple is better video editing features. Like there is not much editing features inbuilt for in iPhone. I feel like we should get couple of new features, and also a better AI eraser, like what in photos. Like hopefully a better one we get it, because at least what we have right now, I can go to the OpenAI and Gemini, I can remove images really well there, rather than inbuilt iPhone AI eraser, which is really not working well, you know. Uh, then a better and more liquid glass theme in it. So yeah, this year they announced liquid glass by Apple. Uh, Apple announced liquid glass this year, but I do feel like we need more theme in it. Uh, the whole liquid glass theme right now definitely is not my cup of tea. I am using it for like again for 1 week, more than 1 week for the video I'm making it. It does not feel good. I hope we get another subtle updates, some kind of design changes. Only subtle can make a lot of big difference in terms of what liquid glass theme we have right now. um, a big prediction, a big uh, thing I'm on I'm I don't think it is a big thing, but I want Apple to make a better Safari browser, dude. It is still the same since I don't know how much time I'm using this iPhones, and I'm asking every year, like, please make a good browser to navigate it much more easily, but they are not making it. They are sticking still to this same. They just want a $20 billion deal from Google, and that is what they are getting. uh, and they can't spend $1 billion just to make an UI better for Safari. I don't think it does it. Like it needs even $1 billion to change to a better UI. But please change it. Make AirDrop better. AirDrop is kind of and sucks sometimes. I don't feel like to even use it. Since iPhone, like WhatsApp has given the option to send high quality images and as even live photos up even live photos now. I don't think I use AirDrop too much. and I feel like airdrop can be much better, you know. So yeah, I think that's, I will say, for Apple for me. And yeah, I think in regards of Apple, I think that's it. Let's talk about some new AI features, or what AI predictions that I have for 2026. So in 2026, we will definitely will be getting much more agentic browser than this year. Not a wild prediction, definitely. Um, we'll be getting much more AI new products. Definitely from other companies, yes. But companies are moving towards more of a software and services rather than, I will say, like this year only I have seen more than 10 companies apart from the major companies who are making their own AI, making their own AI apps, making their own AI software. So a lot of in that investment is going. I don't think anyone is making physical product. I would like to see a physical product next year. I hopefully we get it apart from just OpenAI. uh, are we getting AGI? Definitely not. 99.99% not. If and 1.01% yes. Even like, I think the pace we are going on, I don't think we will be getting AGI at the practical way we are what we are going out right now. I think we will be getting AGI accidentally. If we get it, then only accidental way. I don't think at the pace, at the m- move at we are going on right now, really hard to crack it. And again, wild kind of an, I will say, thing to ask, but I hope we get a new social media app just for photos and DMing those photos. That's it. Nothing more than that. You know, like I said before, I am, and I will be saying in future too. Instagram has uh, sold their like soul bug because they are not focusing on photos, and I want a photographic special app, social media app or special, like if there is any, please let me know. I will definitely use it. I like to much more use photos than anyone, like especially more than reels, definitely. But Instagram is much more focusing on reels, and which is because obviously because the Instagram audience has become too much more towards angle towards reels. The majority of the audience is there, like a lot of less people want photos, which I get it. But let's see what happens next year. Hopefully we get it, some company, or even Jack, please, you can make it. Jack Dorsey can definitely make one. I feel like. um so yeah, I think, yeah, that was, I don't want to make too much kind of predictions for me, because, but yeah, even 1% of this prediction gets right. Let's say about from these 10 predictions, if let's say 5 of the predictions are right, we will do a giveaway. What giveaway will be that? I don't know. I don't know, man. I am not making money out of it, so I can't decide what right now. If my 5 of the predictions get right, we will do something at the end of next year, not this year, obviously. So you will be waiting 11 months, more than 11 months for that giveaway, please. So for that, you can subscribe. So you can subscribe for that. So yeah, I think let's stop it for here. I think we are doing it for more than like 1 hour 16 minutes. I hope. Um, like I said, predictions. I did not want it to do too much predictions, though. So that's why I cut slack off from too much kind of fun time, and your time from predictions episode, which was I was going to do an 1 hour special episode for that bit. But what are predictions, like, like I just don't want like to wanted to waste my time, your time doing that. But yeah, so this will be the last episode. Yeah, today's I'm recording it on 28th. No, this is 29th. I'm recording on 29th, so most probably today only you will be getting this episode, if not on 30th December. So according to the new year, I think As usual, you will be getting your weekly episodes, mostly probably, and mostly on Friday only. We are not skipping. One thing I will be doing, next year basically, is like, if let's say the episodes, sometimes with the workflow I want to get it on the Friday only, I don't want to skip it. So if I am making a episode in a rush, because of some timeline and other work, I will be making only audio episodes, audio podcasts, because you can see visually there is nothing to see on my podcast. This wall, this is like, I'm just trying different locations for videos, for my main like other kind of videos that I'm doing. So mm, next year, mostly I will say, at least the first 3 months, you will mostly be getting audio podcast. Be prepared, like I'm just saying it, you know so yeah, most probably there is no visual elements in my podcast, because there is a lot of audio podcast too on Spotify, audio video audio people who are watching this, sorry, audio people who are hearing this. uh, so yeah, I will say this is it. Also, if you are new here, or if you have been watching for a lot of time, I don't know, couple of episode or just this episode, one thing I will definitely say, this podcast is kind of a weekly news recap kind of, and we talk about in depth your thoughts, my thoughts. So if I want to know your thoughts, you have to comment down in the comment section. Both Spotify has those, and also even YouTube has those. If you don't know YouTube, you know it, but also Spotify has a comment section. So what you have to do, comment down your thoughts regarding episodes, the podcast, the topics I do, and what you want me to cover. Always, with every episode, you have to do it. It's a two-way conversation. When you do it, then I can read it, I can reply it there only, but also I can take those conversation what you are having in the comment section with whatever you guys having, and then I can take those conversation and include it in the podcast if it is interesting. Or we can do once a week a live, or once a month live, just to have a conversation from this comment section. So commenting is really important, because this is something not like kind of an entertainment or a casual show. It is kind of an, I will say, a back and forth, this is kind of an, I will say, news show. Most probably you are getting news once a week, what is happening in the industry, what is your thoughts, especially my thoughts regarding it, and then we go have an back and forth conversation in the comment section. That is really important. So I want like more comments from you guys, specific topics, and most probably if you want me something to cover in terms of in industry what is happening, let me know, because majority of the time we cover only AI, at least for now. Once I start getting devices, smartphones, laptops, I start purchasing it, I will talk more about that too in future. So yeah, stay tuned for that if you are into it. And yeah, that's it for this year for me. I will see you guys next year with the same weekly episode on every Friday. See you guys next year.